Senator Wakoli.
Thank you. Although they have not answered why they are not in the village, but let me proceed with my question.
Yes, let them think about it, then he'll still answer Senator Chute.
My question is, when you look at this book of the contract agreement in this big volume, Waziri, it indicates that a bag of fertilizer must have a polythene bag inside. With line with the question I asked about the ingredients of making fertilizer, if it includes gravel, donkey droppings, and urine, if it is part of the process. We have samples just out here. I think it was Mavuno and some other company. And do you think that the system has been infiltrated? Those are my questions that have not been answered. Because we were in Embu, Laikipia, Nandi, and these ingredients of fertilizer cut across these counties. And that is why we're asking if these raw materials were got from donkey rearing areas, goats, like that. It's as serious as that. Thank you, Waziri.
Chairman.
Waziri.
You know, I think you did well to call me for this meeting, because I'm also getting to understand and even know some other things that I was not aware of. Now, there's an allegation again from Wakoli. There is another fertilizer that has issues called Mavuno. I am not aware about it. You are telling me for the first time. You are alleging that doesn't have the polythene cover or something inside. I am not sure. I have not seen. I don't know. So these issues we are discussing are serious. Is good. You are saying it. But please, Chairman, just like the MD has said, when KEPS certifies a manufacturer and the standards are agreed, and the manufacturer decides to give what he did not submit for analysis of a sampling for certification by the standards body, it cannot be really the problem of NSPB. It can't be our problem. It is the problem of the manufacturer, and the manufacturer must be dealt with according to the law. Because at least in terms of ensuring that we have done what is humanly possible to ensure that the farmer is protected, I am persuaded beyond doubt that we have done our best. And unless the contrary is proved, sure. I think humanly we have. So you can share information with us, we can exchange notes with you and be able to see where to apportion blame, right? So that at least we assist the country, and so that we also come up with penalties or measures that will deter others unscrupulous business people from engaging in such acts. Chair.
CS, I also want to bring to your attention, because now it has been mentioned, there is a cooperative society known as New Ngadiama Cooperative Society. They bought 4,200 bags of fertilizer. 4,200. They got 1,100, 2,100. No. Yes, I'm going there. Mavuno fertilizer. We will start with, they bought 17, and they bought 3,100. They carried 3,117 from the M depot. The remainder of 1,100, which they were paid for, which have never been issued, supplied up to now, from last year 2023, from M depot. When they went, they were given Mavuno 10-26-10. And after that, for them, you know, cooperative societies have their way of working. They decided to take samples and take to the Carro lamps. I'm talking about 2023. Now, to the amazement, the lab number was 2024. This is fertilizer analysis from Carlo, which I'll share with you shortly. Remember, they say it's 10-26-10. The amount of phosphorus that it had was 3.6. In the bag is 26. The soil, most of the soils from New Ngariama Society farms had more phosphorus. The soil had more phosphorus than the fertilizer itself. This is, I'm talking about Mavuno 10-26-10. So they just went and bought 4 fertilizer for sampling because they have to take samples. Luckily, they didn't buy the rest because they knew, because the ramp result from Carlo, which is under you, show that it only had 3.6% instead of 10.6% of phosphorus. Even the soil from the market center in Gidore had more phosphorus than the fertilizer itself. Now, that's another issue. Once they disputed because they refused to take Mavuno, up to now, they paid. They have never been issued with 1,100 bucks from last year. That is not for the CS, it's for the MD, NCPB. We went there, we told them they already had another 17 fertilizer, which is okay. Why can't they issue? So, one MD, farmers, cooperative societies, the farmers are getting loans to buy this fertilizer. Is it fair when the NCPB keeps the fertilizer 1,100 bucks from last year in November up to now? Is it fair?
Thank you, Chair. It's absolutely not fair. I'm aware of that matter. And what I didn't know is about the testing of Mavuno fertilizer. That I was not aware of. What we committed to do, Chair, is to replace them with 1717. And I commit by tomorrow, as long as they are paid, they'll get the 1717.
Good. That one I think is certain.
Chair.
Yes. Mondegi, then Senator Manzo, then yes.
I would really plead with you, while you are referring to a document which we do not have, it's only fair for us to be able to look at it and check, because you are now trying us by ambush. We don't know. You want us to comment on them?
Yes,
history of the matter.
You can see, Bonasies, the managing director of NCB, who is director under you, has just confirmed he is aware of the matter. Unless now the communication problems within your office, not from my side.
Talking about the testing, because at least can answer.
And I can tell you the manager of NCPB in Embu is aware of this matter. Bwana Joe, if you ask him, he can tell you about this issue. Yes, but I am not complaining about the fertilizer quality now, because that is the mood that the batch which was there. But you can also confirm whether that analysis was done by Carlo. That's why they went to a government institution, so that it will not be disputable. It even has a serial number.
Point of information, Chair.
Yes.
Based on what we have realized, I think through you as the Chair, we need to do an audit of the fertilizers in the Kenyan market today. Are they of the necessary ingredients as allowed by government? Because we might be people might be buying some things that are not fertilizer in this country with the rubber stamp of KEBS and the recommendations of the ministry. So I think that's, from now moving forward, we need to do that kind of audit. Thank you.
Senator Akori, I have a letter here, because you had invited them, and they said that the idea of doing the audit, they are already, they are seized of that information and they are doing it. Senator Mondegi, please.
Asante Bwana Chairman. Hii swali ni kwa Wasili, lakini naona Wasili yako kwa mkutano mwingine. Bwana Wasili, swali langu inaonekana kwa swali langu hapa siku kikao leo ni kikao muhimu sana. Kinahusu mambo ya ukulima, na siku ya leo umejaribu kujitetea, na ndio tungejua tunaelekea mlengo gani, na ulikuwa unatetea Wasili wa trade ambaye tunajua after kupeana kazi kuna watu wa KEBS wangekuwa leo hapa. Inaweza kulanji ama ulikuwa unajua waziri wa Tundi atakuja, ama ulimuuliza kama watu wa KEF wako na mkutano Mombasa na unajua hakuna kikao kingine tunaweza kukaa haraka, ndio wale watu ama directors angekuwa hapa aweze kujitetea, kwa sababu msigo yote ni kama inaweza kuelekea kwa KEF, na KEF angekuwa hapa angejitetea, tujue ama yule mtu alipatiwa kazi kama ndiye alitengeneza stamu mbili, moja ya serikali na ile nyingine akajitengenezea, kwa sababu tunajua katika Kenya kuna matapeli na wezi ambaye wanataka kuharibu serikali ya Kenya Kwanza. Asante, hiyo ndio swali langu kwa asili.
Senator Mazo.
Chairman, before probably we move, because you know, I don't know, probably we may be live and many Kenyans are listening, and we have also, I am not denying what you are saying, but the sample presented to me, or the results presented to me, at the look of the results, there is the findings by the Kalor lab, if at all, because you know you can write on paper, you can do so many
No. Unless now you are doubting my credibility on a CS.
No, Chairman, just please allow me.
You are,
because you know you can draw blood from Manso.
no.
And then take it
When I CS, you know you are casting aspersion to the chair. And I want...
Not to the chair. I have no problem to the chair. I'm just trying to interpret the document that have been given. Because the document in itself shows the percentages of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium fall short of what is declared, or what you have seen is declared in the document. That I agree, looking at it. But Chair, it doesn't show the sample or the specimen is Mavuno, is Care, or is whichever company. So it is, I'm not able to do really exactly whether it's a sample on Mavuno, this is a sample on whatever fertilizer. That's my only problem. But from what is written, and then I get it, because Carlo is a lab that is certified by Kenas, I can do a paper check, a true of paper, to confirm what product was presented to them, by this factory. But looking at it, it is true.
Nakusaidia, hebu nitakwambia ni kwa nini nakusaidia. Kwa sababu wakulima wakitoa fertilizer wamepeleka sampuli kwa lab. Hakuna laboratory nyingi zitakwambia ni mavuno ama ni nini. Mimi nakusaidia wewe kama waziri. Kwa sababu the sample yenye imepelekwa pale, wengi wanaogopa kupelekwa kotini. Hawataandika ni mavuno ama ni nani. Lakini nimekwambia hiyo ndio sample. Nikakupatia historia nzuri sana. Kwamba wakulima walikuwa wanahitaji gunia 4,200. Na wakachukua zile mingi. Fertilizer haikuwa inatosha. Lakini sheria ya cooperative society, as you know, Kenya has a very strong cooperative union. Ukinunua mbolea, na ndio maana unasikia mtu akawa akicomplain juu amechukua hii inasemekana ni gushi. Hakuna. Kwa sababu wao kwanza wanapelekanga fertilizer, wanafanya kazi vizuri kushinda SCPB. Wanapeleka fertilizer kwa maambala. Wanajua huwezi peleka kwa mtu yote, ndio maana wamepeleka kwa maambala ya serikali. Majibu ndio hiyo, na wao kununua hiyo mbolea, walinunua mifuko 4 peke yake ya sample. Hiyo nyingine wakaacha, na ndio maana umesikia MD akisema anawashughulikia. Kwa hivyo huko na unaweza kama iko chini yako waziri waitisha hii majibu pia ujue, labda kuna wakora wengine wanaponyoka tu wanaponea. Uwe kuna 2, 3 wanalaumiwa, lakini kuna wengine wako sokoni. Kwa hivyo nenda uchukue uangalie, sisi pia hata ile mbolea tumechukua pia tumepeleka kuangalia ili ujue shida iko wapi. Kwamba tunaelewa jukumu lako waziri. Na tunajua huwezi kuwa kila mahali. Hiyo tunaelewa. Shida yetu ni kwamba ukipata mtu mahali amesimama, kinyesi inatoa moshi, trouser iko chini, wewe utasema ni nani mwenye hiyo maneno kama ni wewe? Kwa hivyo ndio maana tuko hapa tujue mbivu na mbichi. Kwa hivyo tukiuliza maswali tujibu, na sione kama tunakuonea. Tunataka kung'amua nini itendeka, na ndio maana nakwambia ujasikie hiyo lawama, lakini labda unaweza kupata baadaye. Nenda uchunguze na uangalie, uliza Carlo kama hiyo ilipelekwa maambala yake, Unajua mimi siwezi kukuonea. Kwa hivyo kuna swali ya Mondegi.
I'm just doing a supplementary on Mondegi so I can answer.
Kuna swali ya Mondegi, unataka nani ajibu? Waziri, umeulizwa swali la KEBS. Mondegi, nadhani ungerudia kidogo kwa sababu waziri nadhani.
Asante bwana waziri. Siku ya leo, kikao ya leo ni muhimu sana katika Kenya mzima kwa sababu ni mambo ya fertilizer na kila mtu anajua ile mambo ilitendeka, na tumekusikia vizuri vile umekuja ukajitetea, na pia kuna mtu alikutuma ukuje unitetee kidogo ambaye ni waziri wa trade, na tunajua KEBS iko under trade. Kama hakukuja uliongea na yeye ukamuuliza na watu wa KEBS, kwa sababu tunajua hawa ndio maneno sasa kila kitu ni kwa hawa ulifanya namna gani kusaidia ama kusaidia ndio wawe hapa leo, ama kuongea na waziri wao wakuje ndio tujue mbivu na mbichi, tujue kama kuna mtu alikuja akajaribu kutengeneza stambu nyingine ambayo, kwa sababu tunajua kuna watu wataki mambo ya serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, mambo ya kilimo vile unajua ilikuwa, ndio tujue ilikuwa namna gani, kwa sababu tunajua kuna watu wengine wanaweza kutengeneza stambu mbili. Kwa hiyo ulichangia namna gani ndio ule waziri aambie watu wake wakuje na tuwaone, ndio tujue sasa sio kwa hawa ni mambo ya ule mtu alipatiwa kazi alikuwa stambu nyingine wacha ile ya KEBS. Hiyo ndio nimeuliza swali langu.
Chairman, unajua Kenya na wakati kama huu tuko na jukumu ya kujaribu kupanua soko ya vifaa vyetu katika Afrika na dunia yote. Na waziri mwenzangu, unajua njuzi alikuwa kule Ghana na rais kujaribu kupanga mipango ya vile tunaweza kupata masoko na mambo mengine. Kwa hiyo waliporudi, ile delegation ya kutoka kule Ghana iko nchini siku ya leo, na kwa hivyo alikuwa mbisi kwa hiyo maneno, ndio sababu hangeweza kufika, na akaniambia, nikamwambia nitafikisha hiyo maneno, na pia umekiri ya kwamba barua ilitumwa, lakini pia akasema sababu hakuna kitu cha kufisha, serikali sisi tunasaidiana, tunaweza ku represent one another. Akaniambia pia maofisa wangu watakuja huko, na nilisema kutoka mbeleni tuko na secretary wa trade kutoka ofisi ya Hamiano na ofisa mwingine, kwa hivyo tuko na wao hapa.
KEBS ndio tunaongea mambo yao, kwani ofisi iko na mtu mmoja?
Nauliza swali moja. Yeye atauliza mwisho kwa sababu unajua maana yote vile.
Senator Mondegi, swali linauliza ni muhimu, lakini waziri sidhani kama yeye ataweza kujibu, kwa sababu waziri wa viwanda alituma mwenye atasimamia Kenya National Trading Corporation, na bado atapewa nafasi kuongea hata kama ununuzi wa bidhaa hakuweko, lakini mtu yule muhimu kabisa hakuja hapa ni mtu wa KEBS. Ukisikia ngumzo ambayo inafanyika hapa, lawama yote inaenda kwa KEBS, na kwa sababu hiyo kujitetea. Lakini wanashauri wanasema mla kuku wa mwenziwe miguu mwelekea. Kama umekula kuku ya jirani atafuata miguu, itakuleta mpaka mahali ilishikiwa, na ukiona manyoya utajua imeliwa. Sasa hiyo ndio swali ambayo tumekuwa tukiuliza kwa muda, kwa sababu KEBS lawama itaenda huko. Ukisikia ndijo wenye anasema kazi si yake. Sasa Senator Mondegi, ndio maana tumesema kwamba tunabidi tumwite mkurugenzi mkuu, lazima atafika kwa kamati, atajibu maswali na nyinyi pia hamtakuweko. Halafu sasa kamati itafanya taarifa, itafanya nakala ambayo italetwa katika kikao kizima cha Senate kuongelewa. Kwa hivyo Senator Mondegi, waziri hataweza kujibu hiyo swali. Wakati atakuja huyo Rebecca Miano ama MD wa KEBS ndio ataweza kujibu hiyo, kwa sababu anajaribu kuwatetea. Sidhani kama ni jukumu lake. Tuko na acting MD wa KNTC. Swali lako lilikuwa moja, ndio maana ulipewa Biblia. Just one question. Was KNTC involved in the procurement of fertilizer? Yes or no? For this financial year.
Chair, I can confirm that KNTC was not involved in the current subsidized fertilizer. Our role ended on 1st August 2023. So what has been happening, we are not part of it. We are not involved in this distribution.
Good. Unaweza enda nyumbani. Senator Tabitha.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm a friend to this committee, and I want to take this opportunity also to thank you. I know you've done a great job. I've seen you going around the country to ensure that our farmers get the right fertilizer. And it's good, I know the CS knows, I come from Nakuru County, where we contribute to the national GDP, 35% in agriculture. And because of the subsidy fertilizer, we've risen now to 40% of the contribution in the GDP, in the national GDP. So meaning, Nakuru County are so worried when they hear that there is anybody who can jeopardize the subsidy program. And then looking at what you've said, you've really explained to us in front of those cameras, and maybe it's live, is that you've said there is an external forces that are trying to jeopardize this plan. And you said about the people who are put in sufurias during when people are being told to go to farming. These are very powerful people. You've also said there is also some people in the internal forces that were not given the tenders, these tenders. So meaning is a very worrying thing when I remember 97% of Nakuru County is agri-business, is agricultural land. And as we speak, Nakuru County, when I was coming here, I told them I'm here, and that some of the MPs and majority is where, it's an agricultural, more agricultural than the other areas. That is the Njoros, Kusui, North, South, Bahati, Subukia. There is no fertilizer. I don't know that you're aware of that. In fact, they're asking, where is that the fake one? Because we've noticed really the normal and the fake, we don't know the difference. So that's what they're saying, there is no fertilizer. So mine, when we're facing those cameras, can you ensure the farmers of Nakuru County, the farmers of Kenya, that what you're going to do when you talk, and yet we are all relying on you as the CS of the agriculture, that you have external forces that are jeopardizing this program and internal forces that are jeopardizing this program, maybe they are big cartels. What measures have you put to ensure that this will end? Is the rainy season now and we are planting and we need this fertilizer, and to be assured that we are getting the correct fertilizer. And then those suppliers of the 3,000 you are talking about that have been held, what are you going to do to them as we speak? And then, of course, the compensation on the farmers. Thank you.
I'll ask, so two questions, whether CS can answer them together. Senator Chute.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. My question again goes to the CS. When I CS, I'm also a farmer in Wacha, and this subsidy, fertilizer subsidy, has helped me a lot also, and I want to say congratulations. But I wanted to know, out of the 2,500 paid, farmers are paying. My question again comes to about the subsidy. What do you pay to the suppliers? Because the farmers are paying 2,500. What is the subsidy, additional money that is being paid by the government? And then we call these things the issue of subsidy. Yes, the MD said they are paying the money straight to the farmer, to the supplier, which is 2,500. My question is, what is the government adding on top of the 2,500? Number two, what what is a National Cereals and Produce Board as also selling through their depot? What are they making out of the 2,500 or anything on top? Lastly, why do you use, when I see suppliers who are brokers or suppliers to import or supply these goods? Why not use National Cereals Board directly to import and distribute? Finally, when I see the MD said he doesn't care what fertilizer or what quantity or quality, or not quantity, quality of the fertilizer that comes with his godown, and subsequently whatever is going to be supplied, that is not his business. So that means he won't care if the whole godown or depot is substandard. He won't care. He will supply it direct to the farmers. If that is what he was saying, as CS Agriculture, what is your take on this? Is he supposed to be in that position really? Thank you very much.
Bwana CS.
Chair, one, the government component on the subsidy is 1,850. That's why farmers are paying 2,500 for the fertilizers. Number two, you ask why are we using distributors and not NSPB being directly. You know the kind of issues we've had as a country in terms of finance, and the MD came out very clearly telling you the arrangement that we have. One is on consignment basis, where consignment is you bring your product, it is sold, once sold you can pay. So that compared to the direct purchase, you find that we have to spend the taxpayers' money before the product is done, and even if it is not bought or it doesn't go, then you still have the in stock. So this one ensures that the Monroe there ensures that there is fertilizer and we only pay for what the farmers really take. So we really do not have enough money as NSPB to say we would buy 12 million bags of fertilizer that we want for this year because of the kind of expenditure. But we want to become more innovative and see other ways of at least ensuring that fertilizer is available to the farmer. Madam Lindo majority, I agree with you. Nakuru has really supported us in this space on business of growing food. We are faithful to the cause, and we commit that we will permanently be able to do what we can to ensure that they have fertilizer. I personally, 2 weeks ago, went to Nakuru one day, went to a place in a wagon, went to Sirikwa, went to Olenguruone, went to Molo. One day, I covered those areas in Nakuru County. And that day, I did not hear any farmer who had any issue. And it been brought to my attention, I would have really been able to address it from there. Because I was there physically, by myself. It's not my agent or anybody. And the only corrective measure I did when I went there is that the farmers, because I give farmers an opportunity to speak out, because I don't want anybody to, bring niceties in a function so that they clown whatever they've been doing by making the best presentations they can. That's why I ask farmers to speak first, and I know. And the only place that had issues was Olenguruone and Depot, where there was a lady there, as you was called Neptune or somebody. The farmers spoke, were very bitter about our conduct, and I directed NSPB, the MD here, to immediately move her from there and suspend her. Then you can start dealing with the other stories. And that was immediate. because, of course, the former normal administrative fair action act rules must be followed so that we are able to bring discipline and so that we also appear to be somebody has been given a right to be heard. Fair hearing is a constitutional responsibility of us. So that's the only area. Otherwise, I went to Nakuru. And Madam Linda, Madam Tabitha, I want to tell you, as at the 4th, the fertilizer we have distributed in Nakuru County is a total of 236,670 in different centers around Naivasha, Nakuru, Karunga, Kiamaina. You know, these are all centers that this is your county. You know it better than me, Salai, Chubukia, and that you find it on page 15 and 16 of this bundle. So we are actually quite deep in our counties and to ensuring that the distance that the farmer moves is really minimized. Understand the circumstances that we are working in this limited fiscal space, no budget at times for whatever extra thing that we want to do. But one thing I must appreciate the farmers of this country is that really they have performed beyond our expectation. They have done what we never imagined, and that's why we cannot let them down. That's why I want really to assure them, regardless of the issues there, and we are happy they are coming out, we will seek to really confirm or to establish the truthfulness, the veracity of the issues that have been raised, so that we are able to also get organized better. You know, this is a learning process. We have seen where the gaps are. We will be able to cover them. If, for example, KEBS is required to test nearly every bag in the next season, we'll have to do it. But see, when certain standards have been agreed and someone else makes a mess, we find that that's why we have found ourselves in this place. But I will take it as a learning experience. I'm happy you are bringing it up, but please, any information that if I also find is relevant for us to be able to address through policy, another corrective measure that should really be of benefit to our farmers to ensure that the smooth running of the program is maintained and the greater objective of increased productivity is achieved. I am ready and willing really to have a discussion, because I believe you people have gathered or may have a better opportunity to get more information, because the diversity of the committee is really a big strength that we can leverage on to make our work easier and better. Thank you.
Senator Mondege, because I want us to. You are saying something? Yes, ask.
Swali langu kwa sababu tuko hapa kwa kikao ya mambo ya agriculture, sijui ni minister atanjibu ama ni director Kariuki. Wakati tulienda Laikipia County, tulipata invoice ambayo mtu anaitwa John Alan Namu documentary fertilizer GPC company Sirika Booster gunia 90 bags ambazo hasikuwa mzuri.
Senator Mondege, we are finishing first with the issue of chemicals, then I'll give you an opportunity to ask that question. So, Waziri, wakati tulikuwa tunazunguka, when we are going around, we managed to collect some samples of green, and for the purposes of being clear, some of the fertilizer was also brought by farmers. I have a bag here with me, unopened, because we thought it's wise to come with one bag, full bag unopened, else we will be told that we are the one who have corrected whatever is inside. I'm saying that because on the tender document, I think this is for the MD, Joe. In page 5, first of all, it gives specification of what is being provided to the NCPB depot. And they say, one, the liner is a polyethylene inner liner given the thickness, the dimension, and the weight. I'm saying that because we opened that bag. I don't know how it is inside, but all the bags from that company didn't have that liner. It goes to the other specification where it says that 10% of empty bags to be provided free of charge with consignment. A sample of an empty bag should be sent to the Minister of Agriculture for confirmation before fertilizer bagging starts. Everybody knows, the fertilizer with the raw material that we know about is hygroscopic. It will now start to absorb the water from the atmosphere. That's why it must have the liner, which is confirmed in the document. It must be having the liner. And a sample was also supposed to be provided before the fertilizer comes to the NCPB. My question will again go and ask, the specifications are here. Who is supposed to make sure that the specifications are followed? That should be during the delivery of the fertilizer. And lastly, Bwana CS, this issue of this fertilizer and other samples of fertilizer is having a very bad effect, especially to the farmers who normally does large-scale farming. The reason why is the fertilizer provided in the Kel green one, it cannot be used for mechanized application during planting. It's giving a lot of problem because it's not granules. I will open that back. Maybe it has the liner, I don't know. But it's not granule. It has a lot of dust inside. So when we went to several farmers in Nandi, they are switching on now to manual planting because the planter normally apply fertilizer in the plant seeds. So in the future engagement, please let there be a specification that any fertilizer applied should be used for mechanized type of farming. Because we are trying to encourage mechanization, but the input that are being used, they cannot be used by the equipment that we have for mechanized application. That is just for your information. So we have the bag in front of us. And I'm saying that because the specification is very clear on how it was supposed to be. Because we don't want to be told, maybe we are witch hunting. We got it from some of the farmers to see whether it meets the specification too, and we'll be opening it soon. We have one, and we also have another one outside, which should be, the sergeant at arms should also bring, because maybe if you see what we got from the farmers, you'll have more understanding, Bwana CS. This is mavuno. We'll also open up. This one has and then also on this one, Waziri.
Chair, special request. A special request, Chair.
You cannot use it.
Chair, special request.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
But you see the content of the dust. Unasikia tu kinyesi kinuka. Wacha wakili you know is nani hapa na mapua tu. Wakili anaanza kutengeneza kwa chairman this week this chairman. So this one even after this one is okay. This one if you open this one, you can see the line. You can see the line even without opening the fertilizer.
But why are you saying it as a problem?
No, this is normal composition.
Can you see?
All this like that. Even I think this something moving forward.
Ingredients, droppings, urine, shavings of wild animals.
Nilipata hivyo. Wakulima wanalia.
But this is much you know we have 5 minutes now. Unaona hii rangi mimi hata nimecheka even when you get a salt and a peak for this one, the acidity is a little bit high. That means they're using some salts. You know, a liner. In a liner. This one doesn't have the liner. What they have done, they laminated inside. It looks like they're supposed to have a liner. But you see, all, even the specification there, you laminate the bag, which is but with the liner. Agroscopic. You see. But the reason why they did the unit is not agroscopic, so they know very well it's not a fertilizer. The content of the dust itself. 90%. You never understand as well.
You know why this is important here? Now you understand you're comparing mangoes.
Yes. And the farmers are saying, even though the farmers, they are telling you this fertilizer is okay, 17 there, well, whatever they have, they are testifying. So, our is actually out of the 11 suppliers, they are singling out the having problem with this one. The branding, the concern is the branding.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You okay, right?
Sawa, si nimeseti mimi sasa. Hapana waziri. Mimi ndio nimeseti. Sasa hizi ndio nalikumbuka. Unangojea na seti naanza kuniambia. Na seti unangojea naanza kuambia. You know another thing is the batch should also be serialized. Because if you
Mingia kwa short.
one number is for the old money.
When they are selling this fertilizer, they have codes the farmers. Now it becomes an issue. Somebody has a problem. They can't identify the exact bag of salt which person and what time.
Let me assure you one thing. Any farmer who got a bag,
the number and the voucher is clear. But of the bag, the serials of the bag, the serial
But at least the banks are the same. If it is get green, you tell us every 10 bags is what you trust us.
So we were just thinking about moving forward, kind of dynamics of the game, absolutely how that will improve.
Yeah, because look at it was I am Senator Ondeli, please can you go Waziri, I have one for my final question.
We have a surveillance team, and we also have interactions with the international fertilizer associations, and therefore we do confirm. We have an estimate price.
And what is the international price for fertilizer per ton?
Well, right now I don't have the details here. I know the price has come down in some products, like DAP. It has come down a little bit. I can give you the details shortly. I don't have them with me right now.
Okay, and you'll also tell me that, because I have the answer for that also.
Okay.
Okay, tell me also, there was one question that you had to answer for me. Now there is an issue with the farmers, Waziri. And the president saying that the farmers must be compensated. Your way of compensating them, you have seen, is to give them another fertilizer which will try to rectify the problem which was there with that fertilizer which already affected the farmers. Now, because the farmers are waiting, how soon are you fixing that problem by giving farmers now, all those farmers? I know just the other day we were in Nandi and we called you, the registration is going on the NCPB depots. How soon are you giving this fertilizer? Because you find most of these NCPB depots, they already have the top dressing fertilizer. Why can't you issue an alert, Bwana CS, today, that anybody, because you already know who took these fertilizers, they have gone and registered the SPMB, to start picking the top dressing fertilizer now, so that they can rectify the situation now?
Chairman, we are ready to do that. It will be immediate.
So, for the purpose of the record, is any farmer who is affected and who has gone and registered in the NCPB depot can go today and redeem the top dressing fertilizer for free.
Chairman, that's what we are saying. And even in the event that probably you may have exhausted the stocks that may be there, then it will not take us beyond 72 hours. Because immediately I leave this chamber, we have received fertilizer this afternoon, which I'm supposed to go and check in Mombasa, that the necessary protocols have been followed for clearance to ensure that this conforms with the standard, that now I'm alert, I must be on top of things, so we will be able to remedy the situation, Chairman. And it's really regrettable.
Okay, MD, your boss has said it's immediate, isn't it? So this Committee of Agriculture now will expect that any farmers who goes from tomorrow to redeem the fertilizer having registered will get the top dressing fertilizer, one for free. Secondly, no asking for the fertilizer that was given to them, because it will bring another problem and some other reasons, because it was bad, it was taken, because I'm looking at the situation where a farmer uses the fertilizer for planting, but the plants are not responding. If one of the conditions will be you bring back the fertilizer that you took, it will be like deny the farmer the right to get the fertilizer. So for us as committee, we don't expect you to start asking for the fertilizer which was given to be brought back because the farmer might have already used it. That the expenses of bringing the substandard fertilizer back to NCPB should not be levied on the farmers because it was not their fault. So if we are in agreement on those three things, I think we are ready to go.
Chairman, let me say some things for purposes of clarity, because it is not fair for us to say this is what will be done and then it is not. I want to be understood properly that we have put mechanisms to compensate the farmer. And we have resources that are pending, that we owned, which were meant to be paid to the owners of this fertilizer. Before we can make the decision of whether we will give it free or not, and because from our system and the batch number affected is 3,000, and understanding the nature of Kenyans, even those people that took the fertilizer, which is not our problem, if you tell them today come for fertilizer for free, they all stock there, and yet their fertilizer was good. So already we have asked everyone to go back and take back the fertilizer that they have. That is not correct. We get to know how many bags they are within the budget of the money, because there is no extra budgetary allocation within the budget that we have for the money that we are owning, which has not been paid. Work it out. If we are able to work it out and find that we can cover that expense by all the money we owned, we'll give them for free. Remember, the top dressing fertilizer is also bought at 2,500. But to compensate them, if, for example, because they are used fertilizer, we work on figures to inform me whether they will pay 500 shillings or 1,000 for the top dressing fertilizer. But the promise I'm making is that they will pick their fertilizer for top dressing at a lower cost, if not zero.
Waziri, there I completely disagree with you on that matter. Waziri, huwezi kuniambia, na unajua ni vizuri washauri wanasema mgala muwe na haki yake mpe. Mkulima tayari alilipa mbolea 2,500, akapewa mbolea gushi, akambebesha akaenda akapeleka shambani. This issue ya kwanza kusema pesa kidogo, that one will not allow. Kwa sababu waziri, mimi pia niko na wakulima ambao wamepata hiyo issue. Shinda sio mkulima. Secondly, unasema mambo ya mbolea gunia 3,000. Kumbuka ulianzia kusema hapa kila mtu anajifanya yeye ni expert kwa mambo tofauti, kwa sababu wewe pia sio kempo. Kama gunia 3,000 zilikuwa mbovu, zile zingine pia zinaweza kuwa zilikuwa mbovu. Lakini nafasi ambayo tunatumia ni ya kuhakikisha kwamba wale wamelalamika wameandikisha katika vituo vya mashauri ya nafaka. Tukija tuseme ya kwamba huo tutawapatia huo almost for free, lakini mkulima alilipa 2,500. Kwanza mwenye kuleta mbolea gushi anafaa hata ile pesa yote amelipa na serikali arudishe, kwa sababu kama mbolea inapanana na mchanga katika madini ambayo iko inarutubisha nini, waziri? Kwa hivyo sisi kama kamati msimamo wetu ni moja, na rais alisema wakulima pewe findia. Findia si ya kuuzwa. Ukisema sasa itikotua na bei kidogo, hiyo bei kidogo nani anaenda kufaidika nayo? Na alipewa mbolea gushi kama ambayo umeiona hapa waziri. Kwa hivyo msimamo wetu kama kamati, yani afadhali waziri tusiweke vindonda chumvi za wakulima. Tayari wako na vindonda. Kuongeza chumvi ni kuharibu maneno.
Wacha nikusaidie kidogo,
ngoja Mondege. Kwa hivyo tunasema kwamba mbolea wakulima ambao waliathirika na mbolea gushi wapewa mbolea wakiidhinishwa kwamba wale ndio waliumia bila malipo yoyote haraka iwezekanavyo. Waziri, kama kuna mtu atafilisika, hebu afilisike, kwa sababu ukishika simba mkia lazima ujue utaumwa. Kama aliuza mbolea gushi, huyu aliuza, ajue pia ataumia. Kwa nini tumpembeleze? Kwa hivyo tusipembeleze wanaume kuwapapasa videvu waziri, na nataka hiyo majibu pia Senator Mundigi aongee, kwa sababu hapo waziri tusiende hiyo njia, itaharibu maneno.
Nikwambie, huyu atupembelezi, huyu atakuwa mafunzo kabla jioni, huyu leo. Kwa hivyo hata mimi niko na uchungu na nasikia na siwezi kubali aibu.
Unga vile sio maana unasema. Na unajua hata serikali ya Kenya Kwanza rais alisema hao watu wataangaliwa. Kama ni hasara ya gunia 3,000, sitafadhali hao watu wanalia kama kitu kingine. Hata ni laana. Tunakuomba wasiri uweze kutimiza hii agano vile president alisema na wewe vile unasema. Ulikuwa unakataa mbele kile umeona ni ukweli. Tafadhali tunakuomba as a Senate committee. Asante.
Kama ingekuwa 3,000 chama nisingekuwa na shinda. Kunajua hata wewe unjanipea orodha uniambia wani wakulima ili niweze kuangalia kwa ile pesa tunjalipa ni ngapi tunaweza. My commitment
waziri,
whatever we can to make sure.
Waziri kidogo, mimi ni mwenyekiti wa kamati ya ukulima. Wenye orodha ya maneno ni mkurugenzi mkuu wa halmashauri ya nafaka Joe, anaitwa Joe Kemote, nimekaa naye hapo. Sasa mimi nitakupa orodha vipi waziri? Mwenye kukupatia orodha mko naye hapa, akupatia orodha
kama kuna ngapi ya wale wamesema wamerudisha na nidhamu kuna shinda, then hatina shinda. Kama orodha iko
usitafute maembe kwa mti ya mkaratusi utapata. Mimi sina majina yote, mwenye majina ni huyo.
Through the share, I think as we resolve, it's also good that we tell as the CS what we agreed. We agreed as a committee. It is not enough just to replace the fertilizer. The farmers have incurred costs in planting. Some of them, they've paid people to plant. And therefore, we will also be looking for the compensation, not only in terms of the refund of the fertilizer, but also of the costs that they incurred, so that anybody else in this country who will think of selling the long input to farmers will know that it comes with consequences. Waziri, we think that cost will not sit with you. It is not going to sit with the National Cereal Board. It is going to be transferred to the person whom they signed the contract with. I've taken time to go through the document, and I know, being a contractor, that there is what you would call indemnity, where you say that the goods that are supplied are in good. If they are not, we are requesting the ministry to start a civil proceeding so that they can recover the money that they are going to compensate the farmers for having lost. Some of them will even lose a season because they planted using the wrong fertilizer they are not aware of. They wait for their seedlings to germinate. They are very slow, so they are going to lose a season. We are going to talk about compensation so that it's going to be a lesson moving forward to anybody in this country who thinks that he's going to be supplying dubious or substandard products and use public resources to be paid for that. I think this is the best opportunity to teach everybody that lesson. Thank you.
Mwisho, Senator Chute.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. I will again refer back to both the CS and the MD. If you look at prices of fertilizer internationally, let's look at May 2022. The prices of fertilizer ranges from, the cheapest one is about $400. The most expensive one is at $1,200. What I wanted to know, the prices of fertilizer as of today, January to March, even November, going back to September 2023, the prices has reduced by not only half, by almost 60% to 70%. When you talk about subsidy, to me, I think it doesn't count as subsidy because the prices of fertilizer has gone down drastically. And then my question is, when you give the price of 1,800 as subsidy on top of the 2,500, where did you get that calculation from? That pays the supplier 3,850, while the price, the cheapest price today for fertilizer is 1,300 in the world market.